Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Done There, Been There podcast. Mike Hill, my man, Ephraim Salaam, hanging out with you, man. And Ephraim, I know you love this show as much as I do.
Yes.
Winning time, the rise of the Laker Dynasty.
Well, first off, I'm a Laker fan.
Of course you are.
Like die hard.
Long suffering.
Don't be playing.
Oh, okay.
All right. Grew up in Inglewood. Literally on the other side of the Inglewood Cemetery where the Great Western Forum was.
Yes.
That's where I grew up, 60th and West Boulevard. So I know this winning time era is the era where I've really fell in love with basketball, with the Lakers, with Magic.
Yes.
And it meant so much to me to watch a show that like memorialized my youth and love of basketball.
And how Magic came into the lead, the Showtime era with Kareem, Byron Scott. And they didn't even get the Byron Scott's era before it actually got canceled. But I was disappointed.
I was upset.
Hurt. Because they had some tremendous acting on that show, critically acclaimed on that show. I mean, it was just John C. Reilly who played Jerry Buss. And the guy who's hanging out with us here today, man, this guy encompassed every bit of Magic Johnson. We welcome to the show on the Done There, Been There podcast, Quincy Isaiah, man. Quincy Isaiah, man, thanks for hanging out with us here today.
Again, thank y'all for having me, man. I'm excited to get into
it
with
We
y'all.
are excited to have you here because we was talking out there. You were Magic Johnson. And when I see you now,
I can't unsee Magic.
I can't see it. How does that feel, man, when people stop you on the street and give you that compliment?
So the biggest, I think, compliment that I get is from people who lived through that era. That, again, like you said, that's your childhood that you reliving. And for us to be able to capture that essence in that show, like, it leaves me speechless because, like, that's why I act. You know, one of the reasons, right, is to put that, I don't know, like, give people not necessarily an escape, but take them into an alternate reality.
But it is
right?
an escape,
yeah,
right?
Yep,
Like, so think about it like this. Have a hard day at work, whatever. Kids going crazy, work, boss, whatever that is. You know, the thing with entertainment is that is your escape. You know, when I get home, I'm going to unwind, relax, get some wine, whatever that is, and I'm going to put my show on. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put my winning time on.
Yeah.
Every Sunday.
And so as an actor, you get to be that release for people, right?
Yeah.
Like you look forward to, a new episode coming out. You look forward to those type of things. Yeah. And you were definitely that. Look, when I heard that they were doing the show, I was like, who they going to get to play Magic?
Yeah.
He's such a larger than life character and personality and player. In my opinion, greatest point guard to ever play. Now we can debate about it, and some people say Steph Curry.
No debate here.
But like Magic said, like you win, 3 MVPs, you win five championships, 3 Finals MVPs,
12 All-Stars.
Until you do that,
All NBA.
Right, until you do that, there's no conversation.
Yeah.
And just having you like embody what Magic meant to so many people and seeing it the way it was amazing. How was the transformation? First of all, take us back to when the process of you getting the role.
So funny enough, I was thinking about making a maneuver to the military, right? And I was still auditioning, but like I kind of had auditioned so much and I wasn't booking anything that I kind of had, I don't want to say, I lost a little bit of hope, right? In terms of like this, maybe I need more time and need to get older and age into the roles that I want to be doing, right? And I think I remember going into this audition and I hadn't realized that the sides came with the audition until the day of the audition. So I went and printed out the sides. I walked in to like the casting office. It was a casting assistant, and I just read off the paper, and then I didn't think much of it and left. And then I ended up going back to Michigan for my cousin's birthday. And while I was there, I got an email saying that I got a call back.
Oh.
And that's when I realized, because like I saw that it was Magic. I didn't really think, because I had done a commercial. I had a callback for a commercial playing LeBron James like a few months before that. And so I wasn't thinking too deep about it until I got the callback. And then I saw HBO, Magic Johnson, Adam McKay, and all these, all these buzzwords of like, oh, this is big. Like, so from there, that's when I do my deep dive. I read the book by Jeff Pearlman, Showtime. I started watching interviews. I started watching Succession because Adam McKay, that's their other show, right? So it might be the same, the similar style, right? So I just tried to do as much research as I could to figure out what it is I was going into. So from there, I did the callback. They were great. They made me feel like real, because you're going to be nervous, you know?
Of course.
And it's like, it's intimidating going into a room with all these producers and writers and stuff, especially at that point in my career where I hadn't experienced anything like that. So for me to go in there and for them to like be laughing and like, while I was doing my audition, they made me just feel warm in there. So I was just like, all right, bet. And regardless of if I get it or not, I made some fans that day, right? So that was the way I was looking at it.
Well, the background of the show itself and the directors and the producers is one thing, but Magic is another. Did you watch tape of Magic?
Yeah.
Did you get his smile down pat before you actually went in there?
Yeah. I mean, honestly though, I feel like I was able to get into it a little bit and like draw on my real life experiences, but it wasn't until on set that I kind of figured out that like, oh, this is like there's a one of the Rodney Barnes, he used to say like, do the thing. And like I didn't understand until like want to say like episode 3 or 4 of season 1. Like there's an energy that Magic has that like, and I'm a laid back person, so it's like I can't be laid back and play Magic.
Right.
So it was like a way of getting into that character that I had to find. And it took a while to get there. But like, there were, little hit, like in the audition, you saw it a little bit, right? But like, I don't think it wasn't until like me being in that role a little bit longer that I was able to like fully be that character,
It's the Magic has a way. I know Magic, known him for a long time. He has a way of, no matter what room he walks into, and whoever's in that room, he can make you feel like he knows you.
Yep.
And you know him.
Yep.
Whether you've never met him before, Magic can come into a room full of people who've never met him and make you feel like, oh, we go way back. Oh, man, Magic, we go way back, man.
Yeah.
We go way back. And I'm not going to lie, I was very critical. Like, I told you I'm a diehard Laker fan.
Yeah.
Right? Magic's one of my favorite players of all time. And so when I heard about the season, biggest question was, okay, who gonna play Magic? But don't mess this up. I know Rodney. Rodney's I'm talking about phenomenal writer.
Yeah.
Right? Look up to Rodney. And when I watched the first episode, I said, oh, I'm in. I said, oh, this is it. This is everything. And, we talk a lot about mental health, preparation, right? We live in a society in an era where mental health is prevalent. Like, there's no more secrecy about it. If you need help, you can get help. You took it upon yourself to work on your mental health prior to diving into this iconic role. Talk to us about that journey.
Yeah, I think a big part, I can't remember if somebody told me like about therapy in general or if I was just like, I feel like I should do this so that I'm prepared, right? And I wanted to make sure that like, cause we thought this show was gonna be huge, right? Like, and it was, it was, but like, I think the way I thought about it was like, I'm about to be famous. Like, my face is gonna be all over and I wanted to make sure I was ready for that. Cause like, I come from Muskegon, Michigan, which is like a small town in Michigan, right?
Muskegon?
Yeah.
Like, what's the major city outside that?
Grand Rapids. That's the closest one, and that's on the west side. Everybody know Detroit. That's on the east side. So it's like, I don't, and even Detroit, it's not New York, it's not LA, it's not Chicago. So it's like all the it was a lot to digest, right? So I think for me, I wanted to make sure that, like, regardless of what happened in my career, I built a strong foundation that I could build on, and making sure that I knew what I wanted out of this, right? And that I wasn't going to allow other people to tell me what I wanted, right? I wasn't going to allow people to put me in a box or put me here or there. I'm like, nah, this is what I want out of this, and this is what I'm fighting for. And it gave me, like, therapy, and I'm still in therapy, so it's like, it don't stop, right? So it's just, and I had to realize that too, because everything that, like, we worked on, like, whether it's career, relationships, like, familiar relationships, like, it all bleeds into each other, right? And understanding, like, boundaries and, like, again, what you will and won't go for. And I think that was really, I needed that, you know? Yeah, so.
It's tough to navigate being as young as you are, being in Hollywood.
Yeah.
A lot that comes with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, yeah, you get to drive down Sunset and see Winning Time in your face on the side of a building.
It's crazy. And if you're not prepared for that, you can let that shit go to your head. Right?
You want to talk about sky high.
Yeah.
People don't understand. And Mike mentioned at the beginning, it was 2 seasons and then the show gets canceled. If you're not grounded and everything you are tied up into that show or that character, and now it no longer exists, there's no way to go but down.
Yep.
And it's safe to say that therapy has helped you navigate losing such an iconic role and a show, and to continue to push forward.
I'll tell you this, when I got the call that we were getting canceled, it felt like like something lifted off my shoulders.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Because I feel like at that point, we was in the middle of the strike. We weren't promoting the show. We had been getting, hearing about, like, the show might not get renewed, right? And for me, being in there, it felt like purgatory, because I'm just, like, sitting here waiting to either, like, get the show picked up. I can't really book any other jobs. And like you just said, like, I always looked at Winning Time as a job, right? It's not my career. I want to have a career in this thing. So it's like with Winning Time, it was a stepping stone for me to now be on podcasts with y'all, talking to y'all. Like, people know who I am now, and I'm meeting with heads of studios and stuff. So it's like, I'm ready to go to get that next thing now. Like, I'm trying to build forward. So it's like, with not being able to go do that, it felt like I was just waiting for my life to get going, Yeah, and once they told us that it was canceled, I was like, all right, bet, now I can go.
Wow.
Go get the next job.
It took some of the mental pressure off.
Yeah, because, like, I'm just sitting there waiting to figure out if we're going to get that 3rd season or not. And it's like, if we got it, cool, now I can plan accordingly. But, like, if not, either way, like, if we get the season 3 or we don't, I get to prepare. But if I don't know if we're going to do one or the other, I'm just sitting there waiting for other people to tell me how I get to live my life for the next.
So it's interesting because, I mean, when an actor gets a role like that, especially on an HBO, on a big network, you think, okay, I want to get 8, 9 seasons. I want to get that name out there. I want to make a lot of money or whatnot. But people don't realize sometimes there's a lot of pressure that comes along with that. And the not knowing can have a huge impact on that pressure. Was it hard for you to do, even when you were in those seasons? Did you feel that pressure? Did you feel like there's a weight on you? Because this is the Done There Been There podcast, so we also share our issues as well and our stories. I was in a situation like that a couple of years ago where I had a morning show, and I was doing the Black News Channel, and there was a lot of trauma that was going on. Great lucrative job. I could have been doing that for years, but it was tough for me to get up in the morning to talk about that kind of trauma, and it was having a huge impact on not just my physical, but my mental health. And I asked God, I said, God, if this is not what you want me to do, take it away and give me something else. 2 days later, it goes bankrupt. And I felt so when you said you felt a weight lifted off your shoulder, even though it's devastating news, I felt the weight lifted off my shoulder. So did you feel like this is exactly what you basically were looking for in a sense?
Yeah. So I remember somebody saying, like, we want to go for 8 seasons, like one of the higher ups. And, like, I always felt like 5 would be a sweet spot, right? Because, like, you don't want to get into the role and now only people see Magic, right? I think one of the things that I get excited about when people call me, hey, Quincy, like, as opposed to, hey, Magic, you know, because it shows like a, I don't know, like that I'm an actor that you have like been able to disassociate from his character, right? So going back though to your question, yeah, man, like in it was some things that made me feel like having this big of an opportunity and then having certain things happen on set where you feel like I should be grateful that I'm in this position. I can't, again, going back to the boundaries, I can't set boundaries because I am on an HBO show with John C. Reilly and Adrian Brody and Rob Morgan and Tamara Tony, all these people that I'm like, that I hold in high esteem. Why would I ever feel like I can complain about something, right?
Yeah.
Why would I, and this multi-million-dollar budget and all this, but like being in that, you still got to understand that you're a human, you have human needs, and you got, you know, your mental health to deal with. So like you got to figure that out. And I think for me, it was a process of like, I had to grow up too. I'll say I was immature. Like I was 23 when I booked it. Wow. And like, you know, I'm a do kid shit.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So it's like
for his big role like that.
Man,
yeah, on like
iconic
HBO.
role.
Yeah.
We putting in 15-hour days. I don't know that. Like I don't come from that. So it's like having to adjust to that and then also be a professional actor and like understand how to learn my lines, understanding how to show up ready, like, and getting my body right. It was a lot, you know? But like I wouldn't have wanted to learn any other way. It's like trial by fire, right? Like I felt like just every season or every month of that show, I was able to like learn and pick up from these other experienced actors. And that's why, again, I just think that was the best grad school like for acting that I could have ever had, you know?
And you play Magic, greatest basketball player of all time, one of the greatest of all time. But you were a football player.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you played offensive line.
That's right.
Wow.
Big ugly.
Right.
Who you block for?
Right, wait.
you lost some weight, obviously.
Yeah, I started at like 315 and like I ain't want to go.
No, go ahead. Keep going. Go.
Because like in high school, I injured my hip and I had went up to like 315 was probably my heaviest. But like from there, I started going down. So like by the time I got to my junior year of college, I was probably like 260. And like that's when I like was like, all right, I'm done playing football. Cause we was losing, we was trash, and I came from a good high school, and I was like, yo, I can't do this. Plus, I wanted to get into acting.
Yeah.
Right? So I think I was just like, you know what, this has ran its course. I'm gonna go join the theater and.
What position on the offensive line did you
everywhere,
play?
man.
You played everywhere.
Center, guard, tackle.
You played left tackle, right tackle.
You said the team was trash. He had to play everywhere.
Yeah.
He had to play everywhere.
I started as a freshman too, so like that was like, and nobody had started. So I don't know. I just say that to be like, I was nice.
No, but that's good because I played offensive line. I
Right.
played left tackle, played right tackle, played a long time in the NFL.
Yep.
And so when I found that out about you, I was like this is amazing, right? In my mind, in high school, basketball, football, got recruited for both. At a certain point, I had to pick. I chose football. It worked out.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm a basketball guy.
Same.
Like I'm a basketball guy. I just was playing football.
Yeah.
Right? Even on my draft report, it was one of my positives were basketball player, great hands, great feet.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I always used basketball as a way to stay in front of, as an offensive lineman, stay in front of my opponent or the defensive end or the linebacker or something like that, that lateral movement.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bond with you. as two big uglies as they like to
It's a
call us.
brotherhood.
It is a brotherhood.
Because we do most of the work and don't get any credit for it, right?
And this is why you're successful.
Yep. I mean,
Sound like y'all bitching to me. I'm just sound like I'm just sitting in the middle.
Did you play football?
I played football overseas.
What position?
I played
did you?
quarterback.
of course. I hate quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
So maybe that's why the team was trash. You hated your quarterback and you didn't block for him.
And they should have put me on the D-line where I wanted to play.
There you go.
Because I would have winning. I would have messed somebody up on
okay.
on
See, there you go,
you know?
man. That's why we all need mental health, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I just met you, brother, but I like you, and I know you're gonna have a long, successful career here in LA because you got the right attitude. You got the foundation. I'm so happy that you're taking care of your mental health. And it prepares you for everything. I wish somebody would have told me a long time ago when I was your age how important therapy was, man. Now, moving forward, since that, I guess you can say the disappointment, which is going to turn into a blessing eventually or whatnot, moving forward, dealing with everything that you got going on, still going out here, still trying to make that name for yourself and being that superstar, how would you say therapy has helped you? And before we get you out of here, give me that one time where you feel like you've done there and you've been that.
So this is even from a more recent session. Like, instead of, like, my therapist we was talking about, like, a deal that I was, I was talking it out with her. And she was like, instead of talking about what you don't want or what you don't like about it, what do you want? Like, what do you want out of this deal? What is it that will make you happy? Focus on that. Don't focus on these other things that's arbitrary, right? Get what you want out of the situation and put your energy into that, because when you start putting your energy into things that you don't want, they gonna show themselves up, right? As opposed to like the things that you do and being clear about that, right? So I think that was one thing that I feel like I will continue to like push for, is like, what do I want to do, and making sure that I'm putting all my energy into
What is that next?
I mean, movies, TV, producing, just doing, always shifting the model. Like, I want to be eclectic, in my acting style. So anything, I just want to be able to do it all, man. And been there, done that. Like, wait, is it
done there, been there?
Done there,
yeah, I know.
done there, been
We kind of
that.
dyslexic in this sense.
I know, I'm like, done there, been there. But even when I said it, I was like, nah, that ain't it. Done there, been that. Like, yeah, man, I think talking about football and the transition from football into acting, I think I really dislike when people say that I had quit football, because I stopped playing after my junior year, right? And I felt like I didn't quit. I felt like it had ran its course. And like, I was able to transition into something that I found, a new passion that I found, right? And that allowed me to be like, nah, like, I didn't quit. I made a pivot.
You made a choice. You made a transition, man.
Exactly.
And that's important. A lot of people don't understand that, right? I've had contemporaries. I played 13 years. I probably could have played 3-4 more years, but it had run its course. I was like, look, it's so much other stuff, so many things that I wanted to do that I was doing in the off season anyway. I really wanted to dedicate myself to doing something else. So I applaud you for being mature enough
and not listening to other people,
right?
Yeah.
To make that pivot. And look where it's taken you.
Yeah.
Little magic.
Yeah.
Right?
But I also applaud you because of what you said, man. You didn't want to, even though you could have been on that show, nobody wants to be pigeonholed and you seen as magic. You know what I mean? Because after a while, if he's on that show 5 or 6 years,
then you magic.
Then you're magic.
Exactly.
Then you're definitely magic. Same thing, man. I think we've both been in a situation where started off as a sportscaster, started doing news, entertainment, podcasts, acting. Now I'm doing stand-up comedy. And I'm proud of this brother right here because he's done the same thing out of the NFL, but he's much more than just an NFL player. You know what I mean? Now he's acted, he's producing now, he's writing, he's doing all that type of stuff like that. and now we got the podcast, and we're doing much more bigger things. So continue to do great things, my brother.
Yeah, same
you got
to y'all,
you got a
man.
fan in me and us.
Super fan.
Yeah.
And
And I got something for you. So don't even worry about it. Don't even
oh
worry
yeah,
about
this guy
it.
got the connection.
Don't even worry about it.
He
We
ain't
good.
got shit for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not as
Who put
talented.
you in your first movie?
You did put me in my
Okay.
first. I was in the background. I had a
It
woman
don't-
on my
it
lap.
don't matter.
That's okay. That's
Who
okay.
put you in your first
You
movie?
did put me in my first face.
Okay.
I was. And I get a lot of people to tell that little small ass part.
I'm telling you,
in
man.
the background with no lines, people like, is that Mike Hill? Is that you?
It's coming. Just
Stick
relax,
with me.
man.
Stick with
I
me.
was
Just stick
Reggie.
with me,
I was
baby.
Reggie.
Come
You know what I
on.
mean? That's it, man.
Stick with me now.
Stick with doing what you're doing, my brother, man, because you got a bright future ahead of you, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Quincy Isaiah hanging
guy,
out with us
man.
here on the Done There Been That podcast, man. Thanks for your time, brother.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Man, that's good,
yeah.
man. I can talk to him all day.
Mhm.